Hello and welcome to a chip off the old block toys. I'm Jeff and today we've got a larger build. This is the new Eldorado Fortress, not to be confused with the old one that came out in 1989, but more about that later. Okay, so this one here, this is set number 10320. It was just released, 2,509 pieces and 8 minifigures. It retails for $214.99. I think this is an awesome build. Now, I don't always like Lego reboots, but as a kid, City and Pirates were my favorite themes. Of course, there were a lot less themes then. Pirates is no longer one of my favorite themes, only because, well, they kind of quit making it. Well, not kind of, they quit making it altogether. So they only do occasional like reboots like this. I really wish they would reboot the whole entire series and come out with new ones as there's new pieces and that kind of stuff, especially with Pirates of the Caribbean series. They've done some new pieces, the boat hulls, that kind of stuff. Anyway, my point is, great set. I'm glad they rebooted this one. So this one here, don't confuse this with the old one in 1989. That one there, it was set number 6276. It had 8 minifigures and 462 pieces. I do have a copy of it. In fact, it's right here off camera. So when we're done with this, we're going to compare the two. They are very similar, but there are differences. So let's go ahead and start the building, but I forgot something. Before that, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and leave me a comment below. Now we can start the time lapse and the building. concludes the very long build of set number 10320, which is Eldorado's Fortress, released this year, 2023, with 2,509 pieces and 8 minifigures. Alright, well, I've got a lot to say about this set, but let's start off with the traditional review, and that is value, creativity, playability, ease of build, and part out value. For value, the set retails for $214.99, 2,509 pieces, 8 minifigures, and that's 8.6 cents per piece. Now, you would think that per the piece count, that is a great price. However, I'm only going to give it a 9, and I have to dock it a little bit because basically the only thing, well, okay, I can't say the only thing. One of the major differences between this and the other set is the fact that instead of having a raised base plate, we've got this built up plate, and that's where most of the pieces are at. So I don't think the value is quite a 10 because of that. Now, and I'm not saying the raised base plate is all that bad, or I mean this built up platform instead of a raised base plate, but anyway, it's a 9. Creativity, I will give it a 10. I do like this set, and I like it especially when you contrast it with the old one, which we will in a minute. I love this pulley thing, this makeshift crane pulley thing. It's awesome. I love the boat. I love how they did the walkway, and if you guys know my city mocks, I did cobblestone roads just like this, so I do like that. Playability is definitely a 10. I mean, there's the pirate sets of old. There was that newer pirate set, the 3-in-1 thing, and as well as there is this here with all the figures, 8 figures. That's a lot to do here. Weapons, shooting cannons, that kind of stuff. Ease of build, I'll give it a 9 because it wasn't entirely easy, but it wasn't entirely tough either. It was all right. So it was a little tricky on some of these in the instructions. Some of these angles and stuff, but you know what? Overall, it wasn't bad. And as far as part out value, I will give it a 10 as well because there are so many pieces, these white pieces, yellow pieces. There are so many different pieces that you can do different things with. I got to give it a 10. Now, let's go over the contrast of the two. I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. So this one here, this is set number 6216. This was released in 1989, 462 pieces and 8 minifigures, also called Eldorado's Fortress. Okay, so let's go over the sets and the differences. As you can see, the front is pretty much the same with the dock. One of the major differences, though, is the pirates have this little boat, and so do the Imperial soldiers. Now, these guys, they have pretty much the same boat, just slightly dark brown instead of reddish brown. And then the Imperial boat is way different. And so I do like the fact that they upgraded the boat. The pirates would have been nice if they would have had a little bit bigger of a ship, but I'm sure Lego would have charged a little more for that. So I'm happy that they didn't actually, because I don't want to paint anymore. Now, some of the differences of the set is that when you look at it, it pretty much is the same set. And let's just get real, it is. But since Lego has come out with new pieces over the last 24 years, they were able to do quite a few things differently. Like this turret right here is square as can be. It is not here, it is rounded. Now, Lego had shooting cannons initially. I heard it was some sort of legal issue and they quit doing it for a while. I don't know. I really don't know. They both have a crane system. This one's a lot more simple than this one, but it's still a good crane system. Now, this one has a little treasure room. So does this one down here. And also, you've got a cannon here, the flag's on the back here instead of on the side. And the other thing that's different is this one has an extra cannon here, as well as 2 palm trees when this one only has the one, which I'll turn this just a little bit so you can see that. And also the palm trees are different. This uses the pieces where they snap together at every single, like about 2 studs. This one does not. They just use the tail of an animal. So it's a little different, but it's still good. And like I said, it's about the same because you got this here, you got this upper part. It does mirror the two, you know, pretty much the same. The doors are different, as you can see here, there and there. There's only one gun up here. There's two guns up here. There's a lot of subtle little differences. The other thing I like about it too is you know, you can't judge this 1989 set based off of this set too much because the pieces and colors with Legos have changed so much that the only time that you had dark red back in 1989 is if it was printed onto a piece like it is here on this window. I think it was 1999 or so, about 10 years later, when Star Wars came out, Lego started coming out with dark red pieces. So this window being the way that it is, I love the detail to it, but this window would not have been possible in 1989. And so that's part of the reason why I'm not too critical of the older set, because you know, you can only do with what you have at the time, and you can't take a time machine back and change everything. They did the best they could. Like over here, they just put a simple hose over this piece here for the treasure chest. Here, later Lego came out with chains and stuff, and if you look here, you've got 4 chains holding this up. Almost, you know, a different hook too, because back in the day that was the hook. Now this is the hook, more realistic. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you know, things have changed over time. And so you can't really judge them based off of today's standards. You have to go by the standards of what they were at the time. So anyway, I do like both sets. I do think they're really cool. I am grateful for this reboot. I think Lego did a really good job in doing the reboot. And, you know, I don't think I did a just job so far of showing you some of the things here on the set. Let's start off here. I do like the newer set, how it has the little beach sand here. They also put a little sand piece right here with a modernized monkey. Now, this set did not come with a monkey at all, but the old Lego monkeys actually had arms and legs that were posable. These are not. I like the Spanish style tile roof here and here, and there's one right here as well. Now, growing up in California, I've seen homes with this Spanish tile roofs, and I think they are pretty cool. And I love the little waterfall they've got going on here. Move this boat out of my way. There we go. And we got a little crab here. We got some greenery because we got the fresh water, which this stuff probably wouldn't grow in salt water. And, you know, we've got, let's see, we've got the jail here just like we do on this other one over here. Although the doors are different, it does have a jail right there. I like how they created a ladder to get up to these things. These ones do not have ladders. I don't think the ladders that small existed at the time. Again, like I said, you got to kind of go off of what things are, you know, at their respective time periods they were built. We do have a little table here for the pirates to sit and eat and get drunk. We do have a small kitchen right here. And we've got, I like this, instead of being one of these full doors right here, they decided to have you build the door, which I really do like the built door, and I'm tearing apart the tree there. These trees, I will say, this is one of the downfalls or pitfalls to this set, is that these trees do not stay together like the old ones do. And I had quite the time getting them even on their pieces. So they did build them a little differently, and I'm not really sure I like that. Also, these are just arches here. These are not. These have a lot more pieces to them. So anyway, I did like both of them. I hope you guys have liked this video and my review. If you have, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe or consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button below. Turn on all notifications and leave me a comment below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this set. And also, if you've already bought this set, what do you think of it? And if you have the old one, what do you think of it? And how do you think of the comparison I did? And is there anything that you felt that you would have put in here if you were doing the review? I'd like to hear all those things. Also, if you want to support the channel, there is a link to PayPal to make a donation. If you want to go ahead and buy pieces off me, I have about 800,000 pieces. It's in my store, Chip Off the Old Block. and the link is in the description. It's a Bricklink store, and also you can watch old videos. You can share a link to this video or any other video on other social media platforms. That way you are my free marketing department, because I can't afford one, so all I get is freedom, or I'm sorry, free, and that's from you. All right, guys, be good to each other, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on my next video.